Hello, everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters, and you're listening to PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 407, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. Before we jump in, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the podcast. You can check out our trophy lists on the PlayStation Network. I am Anchorless_81, and Jake is JakeSaw01. Send your thoughts to psthisisawesome at gmail.com. Share the show with friends. Don't forget to rate us. This podcast airs for free every Wednesday on your preferred streaming platform. But for those who sign up to our Patreon for just $1 per month, you can join the one and only $1 club and receive a die-cut vinyl sticker plus a shout-out on our show. Most times you also get a podcast the show or a day or two early, if I can talk right. And visit patreon.com/PS. So this is awesome to support us. Remember, if you like our podcast, it does us a lot of good if you can like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. And welcome to the new subscriber on YouTube. Thank you for joining in. And with all of that out of the way, I do want to say that our labor of love shows every introduction of the show because I bumble and bobble my words all the time. And this is not pre-recorded. We do this live every episode. And it's redundant and silly of us, but that's how we do things. Jake, how are you doing on Monday?
I mean, technically it is pre-recorded, but you do the intro live.
The intro is live
for the recording every week. So I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I have no idea how we're already recording another episode of this podcast.
It seems like we just did this.
I theoretically was off for 2 weeks from work for the end of the year. The week of Christmas and the week of New Year's, theoretically, I was off for that whole time. But I was running around so much that I think there was the only day that I wasn't like, that I actively... It's hard to say. I want to say the only day I actively did nothing was New Year's Day in those 2 weeks. But I'm pretty sure that day I still had to like plow and shit because it snowed so much here. Yeah. So I don't think I think we talked maybe briefly last episode about how it was starting to snow a lot and we were expecting a lot of snow and we were bitching about it. Dude, we got so much fucking snow last week that I couldn't believe it. I think I plowed, like, between last podcast and this one, I believe I plowed my driveway 5 or 6 times and every time I got to like shovel the sidewalk and do all this shit. So it was a bit of a harrowing kind of week from a weather perspective, but and obviously kind of a whirlwind as far as the the week goes. But I don't know, man. I'm doing pretty good. First day back to work today. And you never really know how that's going to go. Went pretty decent. Kind of jumped right back into it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm the kind of person where I keep saying, like, especially with my parents being retired and my in-laws are now both freshly retired, and they're just, like, fucking off. I'm just like, man, I can't wait till I'm retired, even though it's going to be a long time from now. But then, like, I think about, like, the last 2 weeks, and it's like, I was technically on vacation, but I did nothing but fucking run around for the entirety of the last 2 weeks. And at the end of it, I was almost like, I could go back to work. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's just like, I'm not saying that, like, I'm going to want to work until I'm dead or anything like that. But it's like, there gets to be a point where it's like, you do so, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm doing all right. How about you?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. There's not a whole lot going on in my world. I hear what you're saying about time, man. Time does seem to pass a little quicker the older we get. I saw this article about how to slow it down, and has a lot to do with the way the brain works. And while this may not apply to your situation, because I'm sure you're doing all kinds of different stuff over your break, but generally speaking, the more routine your life gets, the faster we perceive time. This is documented by scientists. So they suggest that you do new things and go out of your way to check out new places more frequently. And the reason is that your brain doesn't expend the same amount of energy as it once used to learn new situations and new things. It kind of gets into this autopilot mode.
So is it kind of like how you like drive to work and you don't remember to drive because you've done it so much?
But you're doing that with your days.
With your routine. It's like, oh, I don't even fucking remember the last week because I did
You're
the same
present,
thing,
but
so
you're not. Yeah, we're just
your
kind of
brain
zombie.
just deletes it.
Yeah, because it knows it's not even necessary, right? It's not a part of survival or instinct or like any of those things it taps into. When you go to a new place, your brain is actively trying to take in everything because it feels it needs to. So you got to trick your brain, and that feels like time slowing down. So the more you know, I guess. But my week was fine. I don't know, man. I'm kind of with you on this. It's already January 5th. I don't know. It's really, I just celebrated New Year's, I feel like. A couple quick things to touch on. My Hero Quest group is finally at the final battle in the Frozen Horror. And it is epic. We had to leave. It's set up because it just we couldn't keep doing it. Stuff came up. We're adults. We had to leave the table as is. We will revisit it probably on Sunday and finish off that campaign, and then get into some Thunder Road Vendetta, which I'm excited to do as a palate cleanser for the group. All that to say, I have not assembled any of my Warhammer Quest Dark Water. I don't know that I will anytime soon, but I own it. I'm excited to have it. And I don't know, Jake, if you give two shits about football, but I need to talk real quick about the Pittsburgh Steelers game last night.
Oh, dude. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have a propensity to root for Pittsburgh sports teams because I am from the area, even though I'm not a big football fan.
Yeah.
I just, dude, the end of that game, I felt so fucking bad for that guy.
Did you watch it live?
No, I just saw the highlights this morning. I didn't even know what happened.
Dude, I was watching this game live, and I was laying down just needing to sleep because I had to be up in the morning for work. And I predicted that the game would be a landslide one way or the other. We played the Baltimore Ravens. We have a long-standing rivalry with them. And it was a pretty tight game the whole way through. And we have a kicker, Chris Boswell. And he doesn't really ever miss. He has missed field goals in the last two games, which is totally unlike him. But he has never missed an extra point this season, which is you score the touchdown, you get 6 points, and then you kick the extra point. So we were at a deficit. We had like a minute and 50 seconds and we had to score a touchdown at the end of the game, right? We had to score a touchdown. And Aaron Rodgers is the oldest quarterback in the league. He's who we have. It's who we have. He's so scared of getting sacked. He'd rather throw the ball out of bounds than get hit by a guy. So as soon as the pressure's on, usually he folds or he has a real shitty throw. When he's on fire, he's on fire. And all that to say, he comes with a ton of experience and a lot of composure. So you got to, where he sucks in some areas right now, he makes up in others. That team, dude, does not deserve to be in the playoffs. The Steelers do not deserve it. They got trounced by the Browns. We won by a weird rule against the Detroit Lions recently. The Detroit Lions scored, and then there was a penalty, and the clock expired, but they didn't get to replay the play because the clock had expired. Like, they scored a touchdown. Like, at the end of the game, they had it. They beat us fair and square, but then there was some sort of weird fucking thing that happened, and then the Steelers won the game. Everyone in the audience in Detroit were just like, like when games end, you want that payoff victory. Like, yeah, we got them. The game was over, and everyone's looking at each other like, who fucking won? Like, because it was like the refs were still trying to figure out what to do with the game. And it turned out the Steelers won. They shouldn't have. They played shitty ball. We had a guy named Metcalf who at that game was suspended for 2 games because he was taunted by a fan in the crowd, and he went over and engaged with him a little bit, and he got in trouble. He's our receiver. So he hasn't been in. And Washington, one of our big tight ends. I believe he's a tight end. I don't know what his role is, but he catches the ball, and he's a big guy, and he runs. And he's hurt, so he's out indefinitely. We don't know when he's coming back. So we're playing with, like, minimal people, right? And we have a 40-some-year-old quarterback, and we're just barely hanging on by a thread. And needless to say, Rodgers throws one to Austin at the end of the game. We get our 6 points, and Boswell has to kick the extra point, and he botches it. And the other team has 55 seconds left. And now this puts us in a situation that if the other kicker can get within field goal range, just kicks 3 points, it's over. The Ravens win, they get to go to the playoffs. And sure as shit, we punt the ball. Ravens run it for like 35 yards. They return it for 35 yards. They're like at 50-yard line with 4 downs to go. They have all their timeouts. We don't have any timeouts because Rodgers blew the last timeout because he had comms issues on his helmet. So, like, we can't even stop the play if we needed to. We can't do it. It's completely in the wind. They move the ball. They throw again. And this dude, I think his last name's Likely, or maybe, yeah, anyway, they have great receivers on the Chargers. They're within 40-some yards of a field goal, which is well within the range of any professional football kicker. Like, it should have been a no-brainer. All they had to do is kick it. We would have lost. There were 0 seconds on the clock, 1 second left for that play to happen. And you could taste the defeat. Like, in my bed in Meadville, Pennsylvania, I could taste the defeat coming from the stadium in Pittsburgh. All of those fans were just crushed, crestfallen. We knew we had botched it. We had lost it. We weren't going to the playoffs. And then the Ravens kicker comes up. He's a rookie. They made sure to tell you he's a fucking rookie. He's like, this is a rookie. This is his first year. But he kicks this thing, and out of nowhere, it just careens out of the way, and he misses. And the place just lights up. The place is on fire. You know, everyone's going ballistic. We cannot believe that should not have happened. And I feel so bad for that kicker on the Ravens. That's what he's going to be known for, probably. And
he fucking shanked it so hard too. It wasn't even just like it was barely wide. He fucking shanked it, and it was just.
He must have had money on the game, dude.
Maybe there was wind or something like that. I don't know, but
yeah.
I mean, it was in Pittsburgh too, and
that stadium had to have been so loud.
Yeah, I see. This is one of the things I hate about football. Is I hate that games are decided this way.
Yeah,
like it's just. Don't get me wrong. I understand that that's what a lot of people like about it.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm a much more, obviously hockey's my favorite sport. So I love like the active component to hockey where short of like, a goal being challenged with like 3 seconds left or something, like this type of thing never happens in hockey.
Yeah.
And so it's very, and there was a wild game with the Penguins too yesterday.
Jeez.
Earlier before the Steeler game, even where the Penguins were like down 4-1, and they ended up coming back and winning it in overtime.
It's exhilarating.
Which is, crazy. And so yeah, but like I'm the type of person where it's like cool. I'm glad the Steelers won the game, but they're gonna get fucking bounced to the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah, they're playing Houston, the Texans.
And so for all that, what it ends up boiling down to is this poor fucking kid has to think about this.
Yeah.
The rest of the summer.
The rest of his life.
Or all winter until basically next September or whatever the fuck it is. August when he gets to play in preseason.
And do they even keep who knows how long his contract is, this kicker for the Ravens.
And I just feel bad because it's, short of that being like a playoff game or like a fucking Super Bowl kick or something like that, I mean, it basically, that one kick decided whether or not they went to the playoffs. and he choked, and it's dude, we've all been there in some capacity in our lives where we had to do something for something and we've choked. And it's just, can you imagine?
Here, let me yeah, dude, here, listen to this. I'm looking him up. His name's Tyler Loop. He is a rookie. He was drafted in the 6th round. In 2025, he made 30 of 34 field goals. That's a pretty good, those are pretty good numbers. Like 88% accuracy for your rookie year.
Which, I mean, you know, there are kickers that are better than that, for sure. But, like, as a rookie, that's not too bad.
No.
And, you know, the kicker is one of those positions, kind of like goalie in hockey, where that like, stony kind of mentality coming in clutch in games, like, that comes with age and experience. It's not something that comes easy probably to a... How old is this kid? Fucking 20, 21 years old probably. So, like, it's tough. I feel bad for the guy. Just like, I just watched the video, and you see, like, as soon as he kicks the ball, he, like, breaks down. Yeah. And I just felt so bad for him. And I saw, like, you know, his coach was kind of consoling him after the game and stuff. And but it's like, dude, that's a tough one.
I'm on a Ravens website right now, and then we'll get to video games, guys. But he came out and he said, unfortunately, the nature of the job is you have makes, and those are awesome, and unfortunately you have misses, and for that to happen tonight sucks. And then he said, it was a great situation, exactly what we wanted. Unfortunately, I just mishit the ball. We call it hitting it thin. It spins fast and it goes to the right. The second it made contact with my foot, I felt it lower. We talk about hitting on the 4th lace of the shoe. It felt a little lower down the foot, and it hit thin. And then he just says, we work every single day for that moment. It felt like it was going to come down to him. The coach said it felt like, or the QB, I think, said, I felt like it was going to come down to him to win the game for us at the end just because of how the game was going. He's a rookie. It's all good. Just leave it in the past. So it's cool that they're being cool and supportive of this dude. And it's cool that he knows exactly why what happened. And I can't even begin to understand the kinetic movements and stuff that have to happen for a ball to travel that way. And, like, when you are a professional and that's all you do is kick fucking footballs, you probably know the second you make contact, like he said, that it was just a bad kick, and you're just praying as it's sailing through the air. But that's too bad. But, man, what a game. And you're absolutely right, man. If the Steelers beat the Houston, it's Houston we're playing, right? The Houston...
the Texans, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad, man. I don't even know what their record is. Houston Texans record. The Texans are 12-5. Oh man, yeah. Steelers are 10-7, so not as bad as I thought they were, but jeepers. The Texans, that's a tough game. We're hosting it in Pittsburgh. We'll see what happens. I'm not a big football guy this year. I've been tuned into it though, so thought I'd bring it up on the podcast for maybe some of our sports listeners. But pretty wild game. I did have some listener feedback from 2 weeks ago. Big Box wrote in. I never really talked about this on episode 206, and I'm sorry, Big Box, if you're listening. I said I would. Big Box writes in, Fred, I'm getting all of your Arc Raiders shorts in my feed, so I'm interested in hearing your take on Marathon. Arc Raiders is my game. What's that GOTG mean? What's that mean?
Game of the Generation.
Game of the Generation. Yeah, I didn't even know what that meant. But there are things about it that are starting to bug me. Safe pockets, reduced tension, no exciting endgame goal, vanilla loot. I know you're not the biggest multiplayer gamer in the world, but has your time with Arc piqued your interest in Marathon? I love Arc Raiders, but I might be more excited about Marathon. What's your take? Cheers, Big Box. Well, I appreciate this question, man. Yeah, it's done some. It definitely has moved the needle of Marathon for me a little bit. But like I think I did mention before that I really just like that third person like kind of game. I love the vibe, the style, the aesthetic of Arc Raiders. That's what got me into it. And I guess the meat and potatoes of the game is a lot less significant to me initially, but now that I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the cold snap. I don't fully love all of the different mini progression things that you're working towards. I have my expedition already purchased and good. I just didn't go out this last time on my expedition. The expedition is like pretty much the reset for your character, and then you come back with extra skill points and stuff. But you have to work towards it. I have that. I have the new deck already, just from credit, from whatever, earned game credit. So I've got everything. I'm already maxed out again. The only thing I haven't really done big box is like the candleberry stuff, or the extra cold snap little thing that they put in there that's on the same screen as the expedition. I can't remember what it's called, but it's some other project. And I don't like going in there and just grinding for things. I enjoyed the missions that came with the Cold Snap DLC. I enjoyed the new weather elements. But it's starting already to lose its luster for me. I don't feel as hooked. I don't feel as addicted to the game. In fact, so much that I actually downloaded another game to start playing, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But where it comes into my interest in Marathon, I do think that there's some sort of cross-section between the two titles. I think that my interest in Marathon is there. I don't know that I'm going to be a day one guy for Marathon. I think I'm probably going to wait and figure out what the buzz is and people are saying about Marathon. Bungie's doing Marathon, is that right, Jake? Yeah, so I really love the way that Destiny feels. It's fantastic as a shooter. So, there are some things with Arc Raiders. I like the safe pocket. I honestly do. I appreciate it, not being a super good gamer. But I do agree that there's no really big end-game goal. In fact, when it came to the Matriarch, I haven't even really defeated the Matriarch. I didn't even do the Hive with the thing with the Hive or whatever that's protecting the Hive. I didn't even get to do that because I couldn't find a group of people to do it with, and I wasn't strong enough to do it on my own. I have a good group of people, but we never seem to be on the same time or have the same goals at the same time. So there were a few things that stones I've left unturned. But that being said, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if my cards, come up Marathon. I don't know if they will or not, but I like your question and I understand it. I just don't know if my enjoyment with Arc Raiders is going to transpose over to Marathon enjoyment as well. I'm kind of going to sit back and just see what the people are doing and what they're saying, and then we'll see. But thanks for writing in, Big Box. You guys can write in too. psisawesome@gmail.com. Leave a comment on our YouTube like Big Box did. We'll get back to you. Every episode we talk about games we're playing. And today's no exception. Jake, I'm not sure what you're playing. If you want to type it in there so I have it for later, that would be appreciative. I am playing Cyberpunk 2077 a little bit more. I'm really enjoying the combat. It seems to be working pretty well. Better than I remember it to be working. I did download the second half of Bloom and Rage, but I haven't played any of it yet. I was just kind of feeling something easy, and I didn't really get into the second half of it. I thought the first half was fine. It seemed to be longer than I wanted it to be. I'm sure the second half is that, but I don't like to start a game and leave it unturned. The other thing that I did, G.I. Joe Operation... whatever it was, Firestorm or Operation Blackout, what is it? G.I. Joe Operation video game. No, it isn't Operation Blackout. What's the other one? G.I. Joe, what the hell's that beat 'em up game? It's called Wrath of Cobra. I had not yet unlocked Ripcord in that, and I had to play a couple more levels to get the discs to unlock him in game. I did do that, and I put that back away because it's not a great game. I mean, maybe it's a little better than I gave it credit for, but it's not good. It's not a good game. Jake, what about you? What are you playing, man?
I'm playing the Outer Worlds too, and I just started this game when we did the last podcast. I think I was like maybe an hour into it or something like that. And in spite of all of the shit that I've had going on over the past week, I did find quite a bit of time to play this game, just kind of in pockets here and there. And so I'm like 18 hours into this game, which is a fucking that's a lot of video games for me personally over the course of a week. And I'll say that I'm really liking it. The gunplay is surprisingly good. It's way better than I remember the first one being. It's a much more competent shooter. I feel like I'm really bad at these types of games when it comes to the RPGing of the combat. So, like, you know, I have the wrong fucking gun for this type of enemy, or I don't have the right level, or I'm not using all the accessories correctly, or I'm not using my shield or some shit like that. I'm really bad at juggling all the systems that you get for combat in games like this. But I am really enjoying it. I'm on like the second location right now, and I'm making pretty good progress with it. But yeah, I'm just having fun. I'm just like running around. I'm trying to make like kind of a speech heavy build so that I can do a little bit more talking. But the game has so many different traits that get wrapped up in your dialogue that just having a high speech really isn't 100% helpful. Like, for example, a lot of times you'll get into dialogue for like a quest and they want you to figure out something or whatever, and rather than having good speech, you might need to have good engineering or good science or this particular perk activated or whatever. Like, basically everything that you can level in the game, whether it be the like the traits that you select when you start the game, or the actual like different attributes you can put points in, or the different perks that you have, or even like the items that you have, or the information that you found. All of these things become relevant in the dialogue whenever you're talking to people, which is really interesting. It's a lot more involved in that way than I expected. I am finding there's a lot of these like flaws that the game is offering me that I find really fun, that I haven't accepted any of them just because none of them have really the risk has not been worth the reward, let's say, for me. Yeah. But a lot of them are interesting. Like, for example, the one that I find, and this is, I think, something that people might already know about. The one that I find really interesting is there's one called, like, Bad Knees or something like that. It's like, the idea is that, like, that you get, like, plus 50% walking speed while crouching.
Yeah.
But if you are not crouched, so transitioning from standing to crouching or crouching to standing makes a popping noise that alerts the enemies.
Oh, God.
So as long as you stay crouched, you move faster. But if you like stand up or crouch while you're within earshot of the enemies, they'll hear your knees popping and it alerts them. So there's like really cool trade-offs like that. And there's another one that I found where it's like called gluttony or something like that. And it's like if you like eating food gives you like 15% more health back, but you have like 10% less movement speed in combat. So like you're slower because you eat too much. So there's a lot of like cool flaws like that. I love the system. I love the idea of being able to like role play in that way.
Yeah, right.
I'm not like I don't know if I'm committed to the bit enough to like hamstring myself in that way, but some of them are interesting. Like I've thought about doing the gluttony one. I've thought about doing the weak knees one. There's another one that's like I don't remember what it's called. It's almost like OCD or something like that. I don't remember, but it's like you're constantly reloading your weapon. without emptying the magazine. So like, so what happens is that you get more ammo in your I think it's like you get more ammo in your magazines, but like if you let the magazine go empty, it takes longer to reload or something like that. So like there's all of these like weird trade-offs that you can do that I think are really cool. And I don't really have a whole lot to say about the story so far because I'm just kind of like running around doing stuff, but it's pushing me forward and I'm really enjoying it. But there are all these pockets that you find where like the combat becomes really difficult for me personally. Like I'll like where I've had to like sneak because the enemies in the area are really challenging. And so that might be because of the way that I'm building my character. It also might be because I'm like lower level than I should be going through this area. But generally I'm finding the combat really fun. I found so one of the things, so I'll just this is the one thing that I'll mention and then we can move on, is that so early in the game I have found there's a trait that you can get called Brawny that you can select when you start the game, which is like I think it's like you have better melee attacks or some shit like that. And then there's obviously the engineering trait or stats that you can level up. At the beginning of the game, I've come across a lot of like jammed doors where it's like the door's partially open, but it won't open. And you need one of those two stats to be able to open those doors. And I've had to bypass a lot of these because, or not bypass, but like pass over all of these doorways that I could get through because I don't have the Brawny stat and I don't have the engineering stats.
Okay.
So like there are like little things. I almost wonder like if you were to do some Googling on the Outer Worlds too, like what are good traits to have and like, you know, whatever. I think it balances out in the end, but like I went with hacking and I haven't found like a ton of things that benefit from my hacking ability yet. So, but it could be that later in the game, I see a lot more of it. Or when I go to a different area, I see a lot more of it. I'm just commenting on early on in the game. I've seen a lot of these like doors and shit where it's like, I'd benefit a lot more if I had engineering or science or medical. But I haven't seen her come across a lot of areas where it's like, oh, I could use the hacking ability. Right. Now, I have used my luck trait a lot. Like, or not a lot, but like a few times, which is really fun. And I talked about that in the past, how it was like, you know, I think last week I talked about how I went to this like control panel and it's like, you can either have engineering stat like at 3 and you can use this panel to take out these guards, or if you have the luck trait, you just press random buttons and it happens to like work out for you. So like I've been able to, you know, get along with that in some regard, but yeah, it's a good game. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I can't wait to play more. I don't know how long the game is, but I think I'm like, I don't know. I think the game's probably going to end up being like 50 or 60 hours. So it's a little bit longer than I was hoping for, but I am enjoying it. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I hate that when games are longer than you kind of bargain for.
Yeah. But I like it. So like for example, Ghost of Yote.
You like, enjoy the game. Yeah.
Like I played Ghost of Yote for 70 hours, but I fucking loved every second of it because that game is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get there with this game, but I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I do really enjoy the gunplay, so that might kind of keep me in it.
I get it. That's cool. I'm yeah, I don't know, man. I'm glad that you're enjoying that stuff. I don't know how my adventure with Blue Man Rage is going to shake out, but we will see.
Did you like the first one? I can't remember. I think you were kind of lukewarm on it.
Yeah, I was about lukewarm on it. It was like kind of slow.
I thought it looked interesting. I mean, I just didn't. I don't know.
It was made well. Yeah, I mean, I will see. I don't know what the reviews were like for the second half when it came out. So, we only have a couple PlayStation news points to touch on today, and then we'll get out of your hair. Again, we're towards the beginning of the year, essentially from the week of Christmas up through the first couple weeks of January, it's a slow point for news. And I hope you guys enjoyed our episode last week, which is our most anticipated games of 2026. And if you are looking for more content, make sure to go back and listen to episode 406 and any of our previous episodes as well. But getting into some of the loose news points that have come out, we are going to touch on a PlayStation quiz here in a second. And but kicking things off, we were debating about whether or not Sony was going to come out swinging with the PlayStation Essential games in January. And I am disappointed to say they did not come out swinging whatsoever. The games are Need for Speed Unbound, Disney Epic Mickey, Rebrushed, and Core Keeper. I mean, the Need for Speed game might be serviceable and cool. I don't know anything about the Rebrushed Disney game. I don't know anything about Core Keeper either. I should probably look into them before I start shitting on them. But all I'm trying to say is that like there aren't games here that I'm like, I can't wait to play that. I've heard all about this. You know what I mean? Looking at Core Keeper, it doesn't really look like there's much about it. And it's published by Fireshine Games, developed by Pug Storm. No idea what it is.
It looks like so Core Keeper reminds me of almost like, it looks like it's more combat focused, but it's like a mining game, almost like mixed with like like a Stardew Valley or something like that. But it seems like there's more adventure involved, and it's multiplayer, like a 1 to 8 player kind of thing. I'm like kind of watching scrubbing through like a trailer on Steam. It seems kind of interesting. I don't know if it's for me, but it does seem kind of.
I was trying to look at I don't mean to cut you off. I was trying to look at a freaking video so I could for Needs for Speed to get ahead of the conversation. And it just started playing an advertisement, and there was no mute button. It was like, and it was like, oh, I can't stand this audio setup we have. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess all I was just saying is that Core Keeper seems interesting. I don't know if it's something for me, but it seems like it's something that might interest people that are fans of like mining games or like Minecraft or Factorio, not Factorio. Like Terraria or Stardew Valley. I've heard good things about Epic Mickey. I don't know if it's a game for me, but I think my brother plays it with my nephew, and I think he said that it was pretty good. And it might have been another Disney game, but I think that this game actually is relatively well received. And then Need for Speed Unbound, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it's something that I'm all that interested in, especially when I played Forza Horizon 5 and I liked that game so much. I don't know. Now, I would imagine Need for Speed is a lot more arcadey, so maybe if you're into that. But I don't know how many of the more modern Need for Speed games have been like widely considered to be amazing games. So I'm not really sure. Like it's like this game has mixed reviews on Steam. So
right.
I don't know that it's really anything to write home about. It looks like it's like a street racing focused kind of version of Need for Speed, which they've always kind of, going back to like Need for Speed Underground, they've been kind of in that vein, but I don't know. I haven't seen many Need for Speed games that really hit the same level as a Need for Speed Underground, or like a more modern game that I think kind of takes the cake now in something like what was I saying? Forza Horizon 5. So
right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of with you. Like, I think that all of these games are probably quite serviceable, but none of them are really like blowing me away, I should say.
Yeah. They're not really doing much for me either. Kind of disappointed, to be honest. I would have liked to have seen something, even if it's something I already have. It would have been nice to have seen something different. But anyways, let's dive in, man. Next thing is our PlayStation quiz, Jake. Let's jump into here and take this quiz because we like to take quizzes on our show. If you were unaware, and all I got to do is somehow figure out how to open it because my computer's all frozen up. Let's see here. You can tell I'm in a great mood. Dude, it is so hard for me to maintain my energy up for this podcast if I don't have some time off work. Whew. All right, here we go. Question 1 of 15, Jacob. There's a picture. It's a third-person game. It's a man on a horse with armor. He is riding on a trail. And for those not looking at the picture, it might be hard for them. But the question is, what game is this? Is it Where Winds Meet, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition, or Kingdom Come Deliverance? I believe Kingdom Come Deliverance is first person, so I'm going to rule that out. I don't know if there's a third person.
It's Oblivion.
Okay, because I don't know the answer.
You could tell by the HUD, but yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've never played Oblivion before. I'm going to click it?
Yeah.
Correct. All right, I love it. Hype for GTA 6 has been through the roof all year, but what dumb act saw a so-called fan take things too far? What does this mean? Purpose?
I think somebody in real life did one of these things because they're a fan of GTA.
Okay, so
I don't fucking know what the answer to this is.
Well, here are the options for the listeners. Purposely went to prison to mimic protagonist's life. Face of protagonist was tattooed over their own face. Flew to Edinburgh to interrogate Rockstar staff, or broke into Rockstar offices. I feel like we would have heard about it if someone would have broken into their offices. I bet you they just went to interrogate the staff. Is that taking things too far?
I mean,
I bet you it's purposely went to prison. They probably had some sort of thing where they were like, we're going to go to prison for a day to see what it's like because the guy from people from wherever did it. And there's no way they had a tattoo put on their own face. What do you think it is?
Dude, it can't be the face tattoo thing. That's just too...
Mm-hmm. Might have been broken into Rockstar offices.
Yeah, it's probably one of the more mundane ones, like they broke into the office or they flew to Edinburgh to interrogate the staff or something, would be my guess. I mean, maybe they went to prison, but how do you purposefully go to prison? I mean, he would have had to have committed a crime. Mm-hmm. So, and there's no mention in here about like what crime he committed.
I'm going to say broke into Rockstar's office. You good with that?
Sure.
Nope. Went to Edinburgh to interrogate staff. That's not going too far. It says, frustrated by a lack of new information from Rockstar Games, one person took it upon themselves to fly from America to Scotland to question the company's staff directly. All right, question 3.
I mean...
Go ahead.
Well, it's not, it says he was scaring developers as they left the office. So, I mean, he was being kind of a degen, but yeah.
All right, question 3 of 15. Several mobile games based on PlayStation properties were revealed this year. What is the full name of the Ratchet & Clank mobile game? Ratchet & Clank Ranger Danger, Ratchet & Clank Ranger Showdown, Ratchet & Clank Ranger Champions, and Ratchet & Clank Ranger Rumble. I think Ranger Danger is the best. It goes with what they do with their names.
I'm pretty sure it's Ranger Rumble, though.
Let's go Ranger Rumble. You're right. Ranger Danger would have been so much better.
That's a fucking rad name, yeah.
Yeah, instead of Stranger Danger. All right, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 was one of 2025's most beloved new games and dominated the Game Awards. How many trophies did it win? 8, 9, 10, or 11?
It's 9, I believe.
Correct. Good job, Jacob. With the next GTA producer fronting the project, Mind's Eye launched this summer to a disastrous reception. What is its current meta score? 33, probably. 33, 35, 37, or 39?
The fact that every single one of these scores is in the 30s is mind-blowing. That we have like a AAA game that is getting a
makes it a
meta score in the 30s.
Yeah.
Because this game, I mean, I haven't played it, but I bet like in the even as early as even as recent as the PS3 generation, I bet this game would have been much better than that, or much scored much higher than that. But dude, I don't know, man. Just fucking pick one. It's probably one of the ones in the middle, I'm guessing.
Okay, we're gonna do 33. Nope, it's 37. All right, guys, here we go. Xbox doubled down on porting its catalog of first-party games to PS5 throughout 2025. Which of these games is not on PS5 yet? Age of Empires 4, Ori and the Blind Forest, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, or Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's Hellblade 2.
No, it's
Really?
Ori.
What is it?
Ori is the only one that hasn't come over.
I didn't know Hellblade 2 came over.
Yeah, I think it's.
Did it release?
Came over. Dude, the game came and went like a fart.
It
nobody
tanked.
even. Yeah, nobody gave a shit about it on Xbox, and then it came over. They like announced it was coming to PlayStation, and then like months later, and then it just like never it came out, but nobody gives a shit. So, but it is out on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, next one. Sony has dabbled in multi-platform releases with PlayStation IPs like Freedom Wars and Everybody's Golf, released on PC and Switch. What company has it partnered with for these games so far? Bandai Namco, Capcom, Koei Tecmo, or Spike Chunsoft?
I believe it's Bandai Namco. I think because they show a picture of Patapon here, and I think Bandai Namco is the one that's released.
Correct.
Patapon.
Good job. Man, I'm stumped on all these. I'm not doing very well. Marvel's Wolverine finally made an appearance during the State of Play this year. Who is playing the role of the title character? I know it's not Troy Baker. Is it Liam McIntyre, Matt Mercer, or Roger Craig Smith? I think is it Matt Mercer?
It's Liam McIntyre.
I knew it was an M in there. All right,
yeah.
Good. Let me see here. Hollow Knight Silk Song finally released this year, suddenly launching in September. Which of these PS5 games was delayed as a result? Baby Steps, all three, Demon School, or Eterna Lucas?
Dude, I don't fucking know any of. I mean, I know Baby Steps, but I have no idea what the other two games are or how I would even know when they release. So
we're gonna say all three.
All three of them.
When in doubt, all three. That's correct. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Shuhei Yoshida doesn't work for PlayStation anymore, and he's spent much of his year giving insightful commentary about his career. Which of these quotes is not something Shu said this year? I think Nintendo is losing their identity. Porting PS5 games to PC, almost like printing money. I'm sorry I was wrong. PSVR 2 didn't become PS2. I met Phil Spencer, and he didn't know who I was.
Dude, I don't know. I have no idea what the answer to this is. But if Phil Spencer didn't know who Shuhei Yoshida was, that's fucking insane. You're talking about
him saying
the boss
Nintendo
of Xbox doesn't know who one of the bosses of PlayStation is?
I there's no way Nintendo is losing their identity. I don't think he would say that.
It has to be the Phil Spencer one. There's no fucking way Phil Spencer doesn't know who Shuhei Yoshida is.
All right. You're correct.
Okay.
It's just so out there, I figured that maybe. All right, we got 4 left. The game Postal Bullet Paradise was canceled just days after announcement. Why? It didn't gain any traction. Generative AI usage. Announcement trailer was too offensive, or a Portal typo summoned Valve to shut it down.
I think this was that game that like they got harassed because they were accused of using generative AI in like all their trailers and shit.
Yeah.
And so they like were like, no, we didn't, and then the whole thing got canceled. And then I think after the fact, they're like, well, we kind of did a little bit. So I'm pretty sure it's the AI one.
That is it. This game was announced for PS5 during June's State of Play presentation. What is it called? It's like a woman playing a sitar. A person in the background, like anime style with fangs. It's called Knaves of the Waves, Sea of Remnants, A Pirate's Life, or Band of Thieves. A Pirate's Life, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't remember.
No.
I like the art.
Sea of Remnants. All right. Well, we're bombing
I don't remember this
one.
trailer. Interesting.
Not one, but 2 Tomb Raider games were announced this year. What is the name of the 2027's Lara Croft adventure? Is it Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, Tomb Raider Penumbra, doesn't have a title yet, or Tomb Raider Catalyst? We just
this
talked
is like
about
a trick. This is like a trick question, right? Because
Legacy of Atlantis is the new one. Is the remake of the first.
The 2 games are Legacy of Atlantis and Catalyst, but which one comes out next year and which one comes out the year after that?
Catalyst is 27.
Okay, pick that one.
Correct, I got it. All right, guys, 2 more questions. This statue suddenly appeared in the desert ahead of the Game Awards. What was it teasing for Jeff Keighley's show? This is Divinity.
Yeah. I don't think I ever saw this. I heard about this, but I don't think I ever saw the picture of this statue. That's pretty fucking crazy.
What if you just happened on this?
You're just walking through the desert,
dude.
you just see this fucking statue. Yeah, I'd probably be a little bit freaked out.
In one of 2025's most harrowing moments, Miss Piggy implied she hooked up with Jeff Keighley in what location? Bora Bora, Borneo, Bognor Regis, or Bologna?
It's probably Bora Bora because that sounds very Muppets, kind of like like Kokomo or some shit.
Dude, in that picture, Jeff Keighley's looking old.
Well, I mean, he's in his 50s. He's got to be.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say Bologna because it's hilarious, but we'll go Bora Bora. You're correct, Jake. How do you get all these right? We got 12 out of 15.
Okay.
That's incredible for us. I didn't help you at all. But it says, holy smokes, look at the result of yours. That sure is something to take part in 2025 Quiz of the Year. Do you have any favorite stories from the year? Compare your scores with other commenters. All right, very good. All right, let's get back to the news. So there is some speculation resurfacing with all this shortage of RAM that's going on. I could care less, but there's news stories that the PlayStation 6 might be facing delays. We don't even know when it's supposed to come out, so who cares? It just kind of does raise the question about how long Sony may extend the PlayStation 5 generation. What could that mean for upgrades, first-party output, and then their roadmap moving forward? I don't know, man. I'm completely, as I've said before, I'm more than okay with my regular PlayStation 5. My vanilla day one release PS5 that I've installed some internal hard drive space to. It's a champ, and I don't want to ruin anything, but I love it. I don't need anything else. Jake, what do you think about this?
I think that this is going to be a problem generally in electronics. I mean, obviously, it's mainly going to be an issue with like buying RAM for PCs and things like that. But I would hope that Sony has enough purchasing power that they're able to kind of get in on the production schedule. It's not going to be like, Fred's going to buy 1 stick of DDR5 RAM. They're not going to give a shit about you. But if Sony's coming in and they're like, look, we're going to buy, 10 million sticks of DDR RAM, then they're probably going to get on the list, right?
Yeah.
So now does that mean that they're going to be delayed or not? I don't know. It could be impacted enough that they are going to end up getting delayed. But dude, I'll be honest with you, like, now maybe in 2 years I'll be ready for a PlayStation 6, but right now I'm like kind of fine. So I could see myself maybe wanting a PS5 Pro or something if it seems like it's going to be maybe a couple more years. Like if there are indications that it's going to push into like 2030, then I'll probably buy a PS5 Pro just so I can have a little bit more legs on what I'm playing. But I'm not really that worried about it, to be honest with you. I mean, everything that I play on my PS5 still kind of runs fine.
Yeah.
So
right.
I'm not really worried. So I'm not sure that this is a problem for me personally. Is it a problem for Sony? Almost certainly, but they have some negotiating power. So with their economy of scale. So I don't think that it's going to be as big of an issue as like you and me buying RAM for our computers, or even like you buying a new iMac, for example. It might affect you more there. Your pricing might be worse because of all of this, but I don't know that it's going to be as big of a deal for somebody like Sony who's going to buy like millions of chips. So,
Right.
but we'll have to see. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong and it's all going to fucking blow up. And the only companies that are going to get RAM chips are AI companies, and nobody's going to be able to buy TVs are going to skyrocket in price, and fucking PlayStations are going to be $1,000 and all this shit. Maybe that's true, but I don't know. How can we know?
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I don't really care much about it until it really affects me directly. Hot off the heels of Silent Hill, Jake, you and I both played Silent Hill 2 Remake and talked about it. I believe it was last episode, the episode before. There's new news that the Silent Hill producer is going to target one new game a year following the success of Silent Hill 2 Remake. I thought that was interesting because that seems pretty ambitious. And I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off. That seems like too much, too soon. I know they had Silent Hill F. I didn't play that. I heard it was mid. I don't know.
I mean, they had the last 2 years, they've had Silent Hill games. So that means that this coming year, they're going to maybe have. They're talking about remaking Silent Hill 1. So maybe that's going to come out next year. I don't know. I won't lie. I mean, from what I've heard about the story of Silent Hill F, I am really interested in it. I'm not particularly interested in the gameplay, the melee combat, because that was like the thing I liked the least about Silent Hill 2 Remake.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, like the themes and the story of Silent Hill F are fucking awesome. And so, especially if it's on sale, I might be interested in maybe checking it out. But I don't know. I'm much more open to Silent Hill after playing Silent Hill 2 Remake. I still have, obviously, we talked ad nauseum about the game last week or the week before that. And I don't know if I'm like a Silent Hill stan anymore or yet or whatever. But I will say that my interest is piqued, let's say, on Silent Hill after playing Silent Hill 2. And we'll have to see what the future holds for us. Not enough that I'm like going to go back and play the PS2 versions or anything like that, but I will be looking whenever the new games come out and see if it's something that interests me.
There you go. I love it. I love to hear that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And lastly, we got some sad news. We didn't talk about this last week, but this happened over a week ago now. It was kind of out of nowhere. Vince Zampella, the co-creator of Call of Duty franchise, he's been a longtime head of Respawn Entertainment. Passed away in a car accident. He was 55 years old. They indicated on the tribute to him that he also helped shape Titanfall, Apex Legends, Star Wars Jedi titles, and more. He unfortunately died in a wreck with another person in L.A. on December 21st. And he's been getting a lot of tributes across the gaming world. So that's sad, man. Anytime anybody dies is really sad. But this guy, he was involved, man. I've heard his name more than just now. I definitely have heard his name many times, looking at PlayStation news stories and stuff. So that's kind of a bummer. Not to end on a bummer with the news, but condolences obviously to he and his family and anybody who's been affected by that. That sucks, especially right around the holidays. But anything about that, Jake? Anything on that?
Dude, I was actually really shocked. I mean, because obviously I'm not like this big Vince Zampella stan, but I think that he was responsible for a lot of really important games and kind of getting studios on track. And I think he might have had a hand in heading Respawn and Battlefield and Call of Duty and all of this stuff. And so he was kind of an important figure, at least in like the shooter space. And he might have even been involved in like the Jedi Fallen Order. I think he was involved in that game too. Yeah. So this dude was a big deal in terms of the games. And I will say that he died in a pretty fucking shitty way. I don't know if you actually read the news report.
No, I don't know how he...
But so he died. He was driving his Ferrari and he wrecked it.
Mm-hmm.
And he apparently was trapped in the vehicle and it caught on fire.
Oh.
So now maybe he was dead whenever the vehicle caught fire or unconscious or whatever. I mean, you hate to assume that he suffered, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he had a passenger with him that died as well.
Yeah.
And we don't, I mean, obviously there's no conversation about that, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it really sucks. So one thing I will say about this whole thing is like, it's just one of those things to think about. Like, this dude had everything going for him, and if you're lucky enough to find yourself in this position where you have the ability to, like, you know, have a Ferrari or something like that, and what I hate to think is, like, this dude was out in his sports car, he had a buddy with him, and he was showing off a little bit, and he fucking wrecked the car, and both of them ended up dead in the process. It's like... whenever I see stuff like this, I'm obviously sad about the passing of the individuals. But it also, the older I get, the more it makes me reflect on my own mortality and the fact that, dude, we drive vehicles every day on the road with other people. And it's like, we often, you know, you're driving down the highway and you're in this box and you're doing fucking 80 miles an hour and you don't even think, you have no connection to the road, to the outside, to the other vehicles. It just seems like you're in a room that just is like traveling at speed.
Yeah.
And so it's so easy to lose sight of that. And so it's very easy for you to kind of get lackadaisical about driving and not pay attention, and you're on your phone or you're showing off to your buddies or whatever. And, there's a real cost to fucking up when you're driving a vehicle.
Yeah.
And that's just you. That doesn't take into account the other drivers on the road that might be the problem. So one of the things that I've always, and, you know, listeners of the show might roll their eyes at this, but like one of the things that I've always appreciated about learning to ride a motorcycle and riding a motorcycle on the road is it connects you with the road so much more, and it makes you so much more aware of the other cars around you, that I think that it makes you a better driver. Because like when you're in the vehicle, like, I mean, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you have these moments when you're on the bike where you're like, I'm fucking exposed. You think about like, how
did you
am I
look down and you see your foot on the
situation?
peg, and it's like literally like 8 inches from the asphalt going, it's 8, it's.
So it's like, and you're feeling
everything,
and it's like, you know, when you go through intersections, you're looking a lot more carefully. You're making sure no one's going to hit you and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you get back into a car, that translates. You start thinking about that when you're in a car. And so I'm not saying that people should go out and ride motorcycles or anything. Like, I'm not saying, I don't, honestly, like, personally, as much as I love motorcycling, I don't recommend it as a hobby if you want to live a long life. But I just want to just kind of put the message out there to, like, be more attentive when you're driving, be more careful.
Don't drive tired.
Because, dude, we all take it for granted how scary and how dangerous driving is.
Yeah, right.
And it's crazy. Like some of the people that have driver's license blows my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And just anybody can have them. Anybody can just get a driver's license, get in a car that's, like 2,000 pounds,
yeah, right,
and drive it down the road at 80 miles an hour.
Right.
And we just trust these yellow lines on the road, and we trust like all the people around us to follow the rules.
Jake's never leaving the house in 2026. This is the new Jake.
I mean, obviously, I'm not like overthinking it that much, but it's like, dude, it's scary. Like, when you really sit down and think about it,
yeah,
it's fucking scary. It shouldn't keep you from doing it, obviously. People you need to get places. Especially in America, we don't have good public transportation here.
Right.
But, like, when you read something like this, you're like, oh, yeah. It could happen, right?
Yeah,
you could get into it. And I've been in a couple of car accidents.
I've got a buddy
who
died in a car wreck. That's crazy. Yeah,
right.
It does happen.
So it's like, dude, just be careful out there when you're driving. I mean, you want to get to the next great video game. You want to get to the next great moment in your life. You want to get to the next day, the next dinner, whatever, so just
be safe out there.
Be safe. Be attentive when you're driving. Watch out for deer, as Fred always says.
Yeah, dude. Watch for deer. Dude, I almost clipped a deer yesterday. Not on purpose. All right. Well, anyways, I don't have a whole lot more. There's 2 games that I'm aware of that are releasing this week, both on January 8th. The first one being Bunny Rampage, History of Revenge. And the other one being I Am Future, Cozy Apocalypse Survival. So I don't really think any of those really look very cool or interesting. So with that, we'll let you guys go. The episode is, we're pushing an hour. So I do know that LJ talked to me, and he was very grateful that you had a haircut last week because he said it made the podcast much longer because he could tell we had a re-energized discussion after you returned. Like, we still had more.
We took like an hour-long break. Yeah.
But honestly,
that looked different halfway through the podcast.
Yeah, but I really think that has more to do with being on vacation and just having more time and not feeling rushed.
It does help. You're kind of rolling into it a little bit fresher. You're not freaking getting home from work and getting all set up, and by the time I record this today, I mean, I've been up since 6:30 in the morning. It's 7:30 at night, and I've barely had enough time to shit because I've my commute to work and back, and then while I'm working, I'm not doing anything fun or enjoyable, and barely fed myself. And then we started promptly right around 6. And it's now 7:30, and I still got to upload tons of shit. So that's not a gripe or a complaint. It's just the reality, man. I would kill, dude, if we had the listener base that some podcast channels have. Oh, man, that would be the dream. That would be the dream. I know it's a lot of work, but it would be the dream. Because fucking double working the way we do, triple working at times, with my music and then the podcast and then the real job, man, it'll take it out of you. It'll take the wind right the fuck out of you. And to just have something as simple, quote unquote simple, as just a podcast, a successful podcast, I would love that. But all that to say, thanks for listening to our podcast. We do appreciate it. It is a labor of love. We've never acknowledged otherwise. Your patronage goes a long ways. Because it keeps our fires burning to keep doing this. So if you guys want to go to patreon.com/PS, this is awesome to throw us $1 a month. This is one of those situations where it's like we're the Wright brothers and we're trying to build this fucking airplane and just get it to take sail. And we're relentless. Jake and I are relentless crafters, and we're just talking and trying to build this podcast. We're not trying very hard, but I think it's because we're already at episode 407 and it hasn't flown yet. But we are committed to the process. So I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. And I know you do. And I hope everybody had a nice New Year's. And y'all have a good 2026. Go Steelers. Let's see what the fuck happens. And Jake, you got anything else you want to say before we sign off? No, I do think, maybe next week we should at least talk a little bit about, our
favorite games
of 2025.
I don't even know that I played a game that came out in 2025.
But I mean, it doesn't have to be from 2025. I think we should just talk, like, reflect on the year that we've played.
Okay.
And just like, just like pick like 5 games each or something like that, and then just say like these are the 5 games that I really enjoyed playing in 2025. It doesn't matter if they came out this year. This isn't a game of the year thing. I just think it would be cool for us to look just like
our personal journey in 2025 in the gaming world. What we took from it. Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea for next week, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do that. 408. That'll be it. And then 409, to quote Green Day, you just put that in your coffee maker. You get it? Get the reference? 409? That's a cleaning substance, right?
Yeah.
They have a song called 409 in your coffee maker. Green Day. It's an old one. Anyways, I'm out. Like Killzone, Knack, Kena, Bridge of Spirits. P.S.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.